Welcome to the Penn Admissions video series. At Penn, we practice a comprehensive whole-person review of every application by examining 4 key components:
academics, activities, essays, and interviews. And in this part of the series, we'll explore one of the more unique parts of the application process and break down how interviews help to answer the question, what else do you want us to know about you?
Throughout this video, we'll be giving you tips and takeaways about applying to Penn or to any other school that employs a similar whole-person review process. So let's get started.
The interview is another opportunity for us to get to know you better. It's a chance to talk about yourself, your interests and experiences, and tell us more about why you've applied to Penn.
It's also a chance for you to learn more about Penn from your interviewer.
And speaking of which, our interviews are offered through the Penn Alumni Interview Program, a volunteer program comprised of thousands of alums across the country and around the world who are very excited to interview prospective students.
Think of the interview as a two-way exchange between you and your alumni volunteer. It's a conversation, nothing to be nervous about. It's an additional opportunity for Penn to learn a little bit more about you and for you to learn a little more about Penn.
At Penn, interviews occur after you've applied, so you don't need to request one. They are assigned by the Alumni Interview Program, and typically more than 90% of applicants are offered an interview, depending on volunteer availability.
Interview assignments have no correlation to the strength of your application, so don't worry if you are not invited to interview.
Just to be clear, interviews are not required as part of our process. But if you are offered an interview, we strongly encourage you to make time for the opportunity. You'll know because the alumni interviewer will reach out to you after you've submitted your application.
We also suggest that you do some homework beforehand to prepare yourself for a successful interview. What kind of homework, you ask? Well, start thinking of some questions that your interviewer might ask.
Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What's important to you? What are your current academic or extracurricular interests? Why did you apply to Penn?
And practice your answers to these questions. Yes, really practice your answers out loud so you can get comfortable talking about yourself before your interview.
Own your accomplishments. You have a lot to be proud of. And don't worry about bringing anything other than yourself to your interview. And your interests, personal story, and questions, of course.
At the same time, try to think about what questions you might want to ask your interviewer, in addition to thinking about what questions you haven't already had answered. Can you tell me your favorite thing about Penn? How did your time at Penn help you get where you are today? It's okay to write down your questions and bring them with you if it makes you more comfortable.
Also, in case you're wondering, interviews may happen in person or virtually via video chat or phone. Penn views all formats equally. We think the conversation is the important part. And you don't need to dress formally for the interview. Wear what you would wear for a school photograph or a presentation in class. Be comfortable and let your personal style show through so you can focus on the interview, not what you're wearing.
And lastly, if your interview is at a coffee shop or cafe, please know you are not obliged to buy anything.
After your interview, your alumni interviewer will submit a summary of your discussion to the admissions committee, which will be added to your application, so that we can learn more about you that way too.
And don't forget to send a quick thank you note to your alumni interviewer. We hope this helps you to see the interview as one more opportunity to share something more about yourself.